Good day, and welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. In this video we're going to discuss which the best 5-stone light cone to buy from Herta's shop is. So for those of you who don't know, if you've been doing Simulator Universe, you should be able to get your hands on one of Herta's 5-star light cones after roughly finishing World 3, depends if you've been doing your weekly rewards challenge, etc. But there are 3 light cones that Herta sells. She sells on the Fall of Aeon, Cruising in the Stateless Sea, and she sells Tarnished Memory. And all 3 of these are 5-star light cones, which means 2 things. 1, that they have pretty decent effects, and 2, that they have the highest tier of stats that a light cone can provide. To upgrade these light cones, you will be buying a special item from Herta's store directly, and that is the Superimpose Them custom made. So this is a special item that can superimpose any 3 of these memories, and we're going to discuss one by one whether you should get them and rank them and who you should use them on. So we'll start with Texture of Memories. Preservation. This is probably the worst out of the 3. It increases your effect resistance and also will increase the amount of shield and also reduce damage if your character is currently shielded. Overall, honestly speaking, it's not the best, and there's a couple reasons why. So effect resistance is nice, and of course shielding is great, but a large portion of all these games is the amount of damage you can do. Now, obviously, if the person already has a shield, it's great to reduce that damage. For me, characters that you can consider using this on are characters like March 7th. So what you can do here is then you can just kind of apply your shield to other characters, which is great, and you don't have to really worry about March having to shield herself, which is at the end of the day a good thing. But beyond that, preservation characters are naturally quite tanky, already being quite high on HP and defense, so giving them a more defensive based equip is not the most important thing. So if you're looking to buy a memory, probably avoid this one first. Next is on the Fall of an Aeon, and this is a Destruction Path light cone. Now this is probably the second best choice here, and its effect is pretty decent. Basically, the path or on the Fall of Aeon increases the amount of damage that your character does up to 4 times for every attack that they perform, which is good. It's a flat buff. It just takes a little bit of time to get there. Now at max level, its buff is quite sizable. 4 stacks of 16% makes it a 64% buff, which is pretty good. Not to mention, when you break an enemy, it increases your damage again as well for 2 turns. So it's a pretty sizable buff, not to mention being a 5-star light cone, it gives you some pretty decent stats. It's definitely probably the second best choice here, and you could slot it onto any destruction user since it's pretty easy to use. The only downside to this light cone is it has a bit of ramp up time, so it takes a couple turns obviously for you to get the full damage out, because you're only gaining damage on each attack. But it's pretty good. It works nicely on quite a few of the 5-star destruction units, and I would recommend it for Clara if you're looking for someone to kind of slot it on. I think it could be a pretty good choice there, and overall it's probably, I would say, one of the nicer abilities to have. Then we have Cruising in the Stateless Sea. I think this is the best light cone that she offers, and for 2 reasons. One, it increases crit rate, and crit rate's an incredibly important stat that basically helps out enemy, or helps you out a lot. It increases crit rate twice, once when your character is at max health, and then once when they are below health, 50%, and then it also increases attack as well after they defeat an enemy. So pretty good stuff overall. Crit rate's super important for hunt characters because they obviously are generally your single target units as well, and allows them to really do some big damage even through the break bar. So it's good stuff. Obviously a great choice for Seal, Dan Hang, but pretty much any hunt character it's going to be a really solid selection on. Being a 5-star, good stats as well. But yeah, I think it's probably the #1 pick, especially if you picked up Sealer off the first banner. Sealer, whichever. I think it's a great choice. If not, you could still get it. Still really solid. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye.